Recording in progress.
Hello everyone, good morning. Can anyone confirm audible or not? Can you hear me? No. So where we stopped in the last class? Where we stopped in the last class? The last class we discussed about how to create one reusable table component, right? Already I completed 30%. What about remaining? Anyone tried? Anyone tried? Hmm? Okay. Now see, open with live server. Mobile menu, reusable components, lists and keys, concepts, everything. Okay, question paper, all these things you practiced or not from your end. If you not practice, practice. Okay. Now see, this is my table reusable component. In the table, okay, headers, table headings are like vary from one table to another table. So I ask them, hey, can you pass the header so that I can render the headers? If you pass like two headers, I can prepare two TH elements and place inside the TR or not as part of heading. So like this, you can render any number of headers. How many headers you are going to pass, that many TH I am going to render and I place inside the TR or not. Okay, that's the reason. See, for my first table, okay, component I loaded here. Okay, the table component, first table component I loaded here. The headers, how many passed? Two headers I passed. Okay, these two headers go to your component, and render what? Render as a TH element or not. Render as a TH element like this. Two headers, and the next one is like three headers they passed or not. Two headers and three headers they passed. Got my point? Okay, what is the next level? What is the next level discussion? Each and every row contains, okay, table. Each and every table contains rows. Each and every row contains table data or not. Okay, let's focus on the table rows. Now inspect it. Now if you see the elements tab, in the first table, T head, T body, no table rows. T head, T body, no table rows. But as per my requirement, okay, see here, in the players, there has two players are there. I need to create two rows. In this particular one, okay, three students are there. I need to create how many rows? Three rows or not. So in this particular okay array, how many objects are there? That many rows I need to create or not? Yes or no? If I give the players data, how many rows it is going to render? Two rows. If I give the student data, how many rows it is going to render? Three rows it's going to render or not. So now inside the table body, how you pass headers, same like this, can you pass the data also? If my data contains three objects, three rows I'm going to create. If my data contains two objects, two rows I'm going to create inside the table body. So can we render? If my data has, okay, two objects, two rows I need to create. One object, one row, another object, another row, like this. If you are performing the same operation on each and every element, then you can go with map method. Okay, return what? Return what? Return table row. Table row. My data is like an array of objects. Every time you can get the first object and index. Now, can I give the unique identity here? Now, by seeing this one, my table expecting how many props, what are the keys? By seeing this table. By seeing this table, can anyone tell me? My table expecting how many props? My table expecting two props. What are those? Headers is one key. Another is like data is one key. Anybody want to load the table component, anybody want to use the table component, he should have to pass these two parameters. That means he should have to pass these two attributes or not. Those attributes are coming like a parameter to my table. So while loading the table, I need to pass two attributes. Yes, one attribute already passed. Another attribute I need to pass it. Which attribute key? By using which attribute key? Data is an attribute key. So can I add data? Which data you want me to pass? Okay, I want to pass like a player's data. So here I want to pass my player's data. The next one is like what? For my second table also, I want to pass like what? Student to data or not. For my second table also, I want to pass like a, okay, student to data or not. Done. Players data contains two objects, two rows created. Student data contains how many objects? Three objects, three rows it is going to create. Okay. Now can I refresh the page? Observe here. This is my first table. The first table body contains two objects, two rows created. Second table data contains three objects, so three rows created or not? Yes or no? Come on. Okay, three rows created. The next one. The next one. Now, each and every row contains how many columns? 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 You decide. Okay, first table contains two columns, second table contains three columns. So, can I ask the person, okay, who want to use this particular table, can you ask the columns also? If you pass like a two columns, then how many TDs you need to create? How many TDs we need to create? If you pass like two columns, two TDs. If you pass like a three columns, you have to pass like you have to create like a three TDs inside the TR or not. So here I have the columns. Based on the columns list, I want to create what? I want to create what? TDs or not. I want to create the TDs. Okay, here your column. Okay, the next one is what? Your key. Your index. Here you can put like, if you pass like two columns, how many TDs it is going to create and render inside the TR? If you have three columns, how many TDs it is going to create? Three TDs or not? So can you come here? Okay. Anybody want to use this particular table? How many props you need to pass now? Three props. What are the keys? Headers, data, columns. Now, while loading the table component, if you observe, already you passed like two columns. Okay, okay, sorry, columns not, two props. Okay, headers and data. Now you have to pass one more prop whose key is like what? What is the key? Columns is my key or not? Columns is my key. Okay, here is my table. Here is my table. Okay, this is my data. This is my data. Here also you have to pass like what? Some columns or not. Okay, what columns you want me to pass? What columns you want me to pass? Come on. Here, see this. Inside the array, two objects are there. So two rows you created. Inside the object, how many properties are there? Two properties. Okay, how many TDs you want me to create? For Sachin, 1 TD. For 20,000, 1 TD. Got my point? So how many properties are there? Okay, that many TDs I want to create. So if you want to retrieve Sachin, what you required? Key is required. So can you pass the keys to them? How many keys you pass? So that many TDC is going to prepare. So name is one key. The another one is like what? Runs is one key. So how many columns you are passing? One, two. Okay, so how many TDC is going to prepare? Two TDs or not? Okay, here also, okay, N, L, okay, N, R, M. Okay, how many TDC is going to prepare? Three TDs or not? Now, if I refresh the page, now see first table. In my first table, okay, two rows created. Each and every row contains two TDs. Why? Because two keys, okay, two columns you passed. Two columns you passed. The next one is like next table. Next table is this one. Okay, each and every, okay, total three TRs are there. Each and every TR contains three TDs or not. Each and every TR contains three TDs or not. Agreed with me? Yes or no? Okay, now you can come here. Now you can come here. See, here, first time the data is like players data. You can take it. This is my data. Okay, let me take this one, paste here. Okay, for our understanding purpose. First time my data is this one. Data is this one. Data dot map of obj is nothing but what? Okay, it gives me first object or not. So this is my first object. So first iteration, my obj is pointing to this one. Okay, now come to this part. Okay, my tr. Okay, here columns. How many columns are there? How many columns are there? Okay, how many columns you passed for the first table? Okay, two columns you passed. These are the columns. Okay, these are the columns you passed. Okay, so first iteration. Okay, my column is like what? Name. So name is this one. So if you want to search in, I have an object and I have a key. So if you want to retrieve search in, how we can retrieve it? How we can retrieve it? Obj of what? Obj of column or not. Obj is nothing but this one. First iteration column is like name. Obj of name is nothing but Sachin. So my Sachin is going to display here or not. Okay, inner for loop, inner map. Okay, outer for loop, inner for loop. Same like this, outer map, inner map. So again, in the column, second column is what? Runs. So my Obj of runs is nothing but 20,000. There is no third column so that it go to the outer loop. In my outer loop, now the second object, okay, in my data, the second object is what? This one. This one. Again, how many columns? My columns not changed, same columns. So OBJ of name again, Dhoni. OBJ of runs again, 15,000 or not. It's like that. Render the table data or not. Now, can you come here? Can I refresh the page? Yes. Working? Yes or no? How many times you written the code? How many times you written the table related code? How many times you written the table related code? Only one time you written or not? This is the reusable component or not? Only one time only I written. Yes or no? Only one time only I written. Okay. How many times you used? How many times you used? Multiple times. Multiple times you used. Okay. Like that. How many, okay, times you want, how many places you want, that is not a matter. You can reuse it. But while using my table, you should have to pass how many props? One, two, three. Three props you have to pass it or not. You got my point? Agree with me? Okay. Better to pass the column names manually from here. Why? Because, okay, here my data is this one, but I required only name and marks only. I don't want name runs marks. Name and marks. Then that time simply you can remove this one and simply you can remove this one. Then that time in my table, only two columns and three rows, name and marks or not. You can customize it based on your requirement. How many columns you want, how many rows you want. Got my point? Okay, this is recommended only. Why? Because these columns, if you have the data, then only you can render this data inside the table. If the data format, if you don't know, how we can render the data inside the table? So if you have the data, if you know the keys, you can pass the okay keys as a columns to my table component. Agreed with me? Yes or no? Okay. Anyone have any questions? You can unmute and you can talk in this example. Hmm. In this example, anyone have any questions?
Sir, suppose if I have more than like 10 to 20 columns like that, then also I need to pass like this only.
Yeah, those columns you can pass here. Those columns you can pass here. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't want to pass 10 to 20, okay, you have this data, right? Okay. From this data, can you take this object? Can you get the keys from the object? Okay. How we can get this object from the student data? Of 0, right? This is the one. Okay. Now, I want the keys. So, object dot keys of the student of 0. Then the time you can get all the keys of your object. Now, see this working or not? Instead of writing, for example, 20 columns are there, as you said. No need to write 20 columns, 1, 2, 3, like this, like this. Okay, take the object. Inside the object only, right? 20 properties are there. You need to create like 20 columns. So, object class contains keys is one method. Okay, you can pass your object. So, all the keys you can get it. Got my point?
Yeah, okay, sir. But sir, usually, suppose if we have an app from the API response, we'll be getting the JSON objects, right? In
Mhm.
that, according to the condition, some keys might be not there. So how can we take
Okay,
that?
then that time you have to iterate that particular object which are required. You can push those keys only, those columns only into one array. That array you can pass to this particular table.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions, anyone? Okay, if any time you created a list, if any time you created a list, see this. Here you created a table row list. Here you created a table data list. Anytime if you create a list, okay, that particular element should be unique. That particular element should be unique. For my TR, okay, the key is like 0. For my TD, key may be 0, but my TD, TR like different or not? Yes or no? For that particular list item, key should be unique. For my TR, key is like 0. For my TD, key also 0. But this is TD, this is TR. Okay, for that particular element, key should be unique. Okay. Now this data always coming from database. Okay, no need to hard code. Hard code is not a recommended one. Okay, this data most of the times coming from database. Okay, through API calls. You can write the Node.js one REST API. My REST API is going to connect with your database and get the data. That data we are going to render. For our understanding purpose, just I taken this data as a hard coded value. Okay. Okay, I will tell you 5,000 rows also we are going to render as a tabular format. That is our next level discussion. Okay, sending the request and getting the response through Ajax. Okay, for now, okay, just understand one row, one column, how it is going to render as a table. In future, 100 columns are there, 100 rows are there. What's wrong with that? Got my point? In the array, one element is there. Okay, you know how to render that element. In that same array, 1,000 rows are there, 1,000 elements are there. If you it is rendered one element, how it is rendered the same way, remaining 999 elements also rendered the same way or not? So get the things. Okay, small object, array of object, you can take it, make it work. After that, here 100 objects are there. That is not an issue for you. That is not an issue for you. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, any questions, anyone? Yeah, I'm going to upload this code. Okay. See, the reusable components concept is like very, very important. Why? Because in our application, okay, you may have to use the same content multiple times dynamically like this only. Okay, then that time you have to create one reusable component. Okay, you have to use wherever you want. Got my point? So did you prepare that mobile menu one? Did you prepare? Okay. Anyone have any questions on that? Mobile menu, yesterday's question paper. Okay, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. we have class. Okay. This weekend onwards, we are going to take the classes weekends also. Okay. Till end of our sessions next 1 month. Okay. Tomorrow we have the class. Same time, same time, same time. Okay, same time. Okay, start at 8. We ends with 10. Ends like 10.
Only Saturdays or Sundays also, sir?
I'll tell. Tomorrow we'll decide. Okay, we'll discuss and decide.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah, upload it. Just you can download. Whatever the things we discussed, mobile menu and question paper and today's table component, table reusable component, lists and keys concept, all these examples. Can you practice and can you come for next class? So tomorrow also our discussion is about reusable component only. Now the reusable component like, okay, I have a login page is there. I have a registration page is there. In the login page also, I want to use like a text box. In the registration page also, I want to use like a text box. Here also text box, here also text box. You want me to write the text box multiple times or you want me to create a reusable component? What do you want me to do? You have to create one reusable component or not. Like that, I want to create a reusable component for the text box, for the password field, for the checkbox, for the radio button, for the drop down, for the file upload. Okay, for all. Okay, I want to create the reusable components. How many times you want to use in your application, wherever you want to. Okay, wherever you want, how many times you want, just you can use it. Got my point? Okay, next level discussion is like I want to create the forms. Okay, one is like registration form, one is like login form. Tomorrow I want to explain like login form as well as see these questions there, right? Okay, this is my questions quiz. Okay, now see these questions I hard coded here, but I want to prepare one questions form. Okay, question one text area, option one text box, option two text box, option three text box, option four text box, type of the question, radio button, select. Okay, it's a single question or multi question, answers, it a drop down. Like that, I want to create a form for enter or insert a question into my database. One form is required for me. Okay, I want to create a form to insert, okay, save the question into my database. So database and node.js part not yet done. First part is like template preparation. One form I want to insert the question data in my database. Okay, one question form I required. Got my point? One login form I require. These two things I want to cover in tomorrow's class. Don't miss. Very, very important session. Okay. Okay then. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye. I uploaded.
Sir, tomorrow class is there, sir.
Tomorrow class is there at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. to 9.
Hello, sir.
9 or 10. Tomorrow class is there. Same time 8 ends like at 10. 9:30, 10. Okay.
Yes.
Tomorrow onwards, we may take like the classes on Sunday also. Okay, prepare like that. There is no holidays. Weekends also we are going to take.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.